It is our Q&A time. Once a week, I make a post and ask you guys to comment your questions, and I'm going to go through as many as I can. Here we go. How to heal from metabolic damage. How many times a week should I train glutes for optimal growth? Are there consequences for getting a good portion of my protein from sources like protein powder and bars? Hey, what's up YouTube? It's Christine with Gauge Girl Training, and today I'm bringing you our weekly nutrition science Q&A. So let's get started. All right guys, so you know the deal. It is our Q&A time. Follow me on Instagram at Gauge Girl Training, where once a week I make a post and ask you guys to comment your questions, and I'm going to go through as many as I can. So here we go. Are there consequences for getting a good portion of my protein from sources like protein powder and bars, or is protein protein? Protein is protein, but the only thing you want to be aware of if you're getting your protein from things like bars and powders is just make sure the rest of the product is a quality product, that there are no fillers or additives. If you overdo it on artificial sweeteners, you can tend to get a little bit bloated. So just make sure that the rest of the ingredients in the product that you are taking are legit and in line with your goals, and you should be fine. Next question is, hello Christine, can you explain more about glycogen? How do I get to burn body fat if I use glycogen first? How does that balance work between burning fat and burning sugar/glycogen works? Here's the deal. When you do any energy, just the energy I'm using right now to move my hands, my body is relying on glycogen. And that's very important, because if anytime you moved and performed any type of energy, any type of exercise or movement, if your body relied on fat, we wouldn't be able to sustain ourselves as humans, because our fat is meant to be stored for when your glycogen is depleted. So how do you deplete your glycogen? It takes approximately 20 minutes to deplete your glycogen before you get into fat burning mode. So that is why I always recommend, if you are doing weight training and cardio in the same session, you always want to do your weight training first and your cardio second, because your weight training, it's actually beneficial to have higher glycogen because it's going to help you power through your lifts. Your muscles are fuller and fresher, versus when you're doing your cardio, you want to be in a fat burning mode. So rule of thumb, it takes approximately 20 minutes to burn through your glycogen before you get into fat burning mode. Watch your heart rate and make sure that you are hitting your target beats per minute for your age and to hit fat burning mode as well. Next question, are red potatoes actually healthy? There's nothing wrong with potatoes. Are they healthy? I would say yes, as long as you're eating them within your total macro count for your carbs for the day, yes. Next question is how to heal from metabolic damage. I would say if you have experienced metabolic damage, I would give yourself a mental break and stop dieting. Actually, stop dieting altogether. You need to start eating more slowly. I would encourage you to eat more and exercise a little bit less, and give yourself a solid 3 to 6 months of just not stressing out about the scale, not stressing out about the food, eating more food, but eating quality foods, quality fats, things like avocado, salmon, grass-fed beef, sweet potatoes, having just quality food and enjoying food, and really taking that stress off of your body. Because if you don't take it easy and take some time off to slowly start to eat more, and then as you start to eat more and start to feel stronger again, I'd encourage you to start gradually lifting more, gradually lifting heavier as your body is able to. But the number one thing for recovering from metabolic stress or damage is to take a break. That's the best thing I can say. You may not want to hear that, but that's the best way to approach it. How many times a week should I train glutes for optimal growth? You could technically train your glutes every day. I would say at least a minimum of 2 times a week, possibly even as high as 3 times a week. Next question is, how can I gain muscle? I'm lean, eat well, and exercise 5 times a week, but remain on the thin side. I want to look toned. So in order to gain muscle, you need to be in a caloric surplus. That doesn't mean that by eating in a caloric surplus that you're going to gain body fat. People automatically assume if they start eating more, they're going to have an unsightly aesthetic appearance. That's not the case at all. Your muscles need fuel to grow, so you need to eat more. I would encourage you to boost your carbs, boost your protein, and start taking a dietary supplement, something like a creatine. If you take a creatine monohydrate, it will bind water to the inside of your muscles, and it might bloat you a little bit, but once you are off of the creatine, it will help you gain that muscle. The water bloat effect will go away, but you definitely need to be in a caloric surplus for your goals. If you need help figuring out what that would be for your macros, check out my macro video here where I explain how to calculate your macros, but instead of being in a caloric deficit, just make sure you are in a caloric surplus. If you need more help on that, go to gagegirltraining.com and you can either get a consult or get a custom meal plan. Fill out the questionnaire and I'd be happy to help you. Next question is, what are your recommendations for people who are only allowed light physical activity but don't want to lose their shape out of just paying attention to your diet? There's so much you can do by paying attention to your nutrition and to maintain your shape, especially if you have been recently injured or if there's whatever reason that you cannot do physical activity. About 4 years ago, I had severely injured my knee. I was not able to do anything in the gym for 9 months' time, and it was driving me crazy, but I was able to maintain a 2 to a 4 pack on my body. I was able to keep my weight within 7 to 10 pounds of like my contest stage weight just by watching what I was eating, by prepping all my foods in spite of the fact that I wasn't able to be as active. And if you are able to at least swim, or even just if you have some dumbbells at home, you're able to do a little bit of upper body, I would encourage you to do so. Zero in on your nutrition. It will save you big time. It will save you big time. So that's all I have time for this week. If you have more questions, follow me on Instagram and stay tuned for the opportunity next week to comment your questions below. So thank you guys for watching. See you on the next one. Regardless of how much they eat, these are the people that a lot of us envy. Cry me a river if you have a hard time gaining weight. Today we're talking about fat loss for the different body types: mesomorphs, endomorphs, and ectomorphs.